Okay, hello. This is Gmod, as you might notice. I'm here to do a recap video talking a little bit more about Cry of Fear. This is a map of the asylum, I guess the Mollenberg Mental Hospital, or the mental hospital level, because it was my favorite part of Gmod, is to kind of get the rain ambient out here. We're going to go in, we're just going to wander around a bit. There's no monsters. I could spawn them. Yeah, this is the front part. We come in and there's the save point here. It's weird being back here and not having it be the actual game. It feels like it's still the actual game. Um, let's do this too because I wanted to. I've got all the Cry of Fear people. Let's just get our buddy Simon, and we'll hang out with our buddy Simon and walk through here. He might get stuck on stuff, but I want to go down to the bowling alley, mostly, honestly. So I just want to talk a little bit about Cry of Fear, because I really felt like I didn't know. This map doesn't let me do that. Well, Simon, we're out of luck. Yeah, I didn't really get to do that much during the actual game. I don't want to get too distracted here by this map. I'm just kind of, the whole point is just to kind of walk around. So we finished it, and it was good. You know, and I overall really enjoyed Cry of Fear. I thought it was a great horror game, especially for its time, especially for something that was made originally as a Half-Life 2 mod, or a Quake mod even before that, I think, from what I've heard. And just, it had a lot of cool stuff in it. There were some good puzzles, like you can hear right here. Some really good atmosphere. I liked the overall soundtrack. The soundtrack's on YouTube, and I've listened to it since then, and it's really cool to kind of have, kind of have that whole soundtrack for this. It's fairly fairly good, and they even have the you can read it even better on here than you could in the game. It's kind of cool. The texture's a little more clear, but it's kind of neat they put it in here because this is basically Half-Life 2. You know, Gmod is pretty similar source engine stuff. I have enjoyed it, and the ending was really weird. I didn't entirely understand. There's multiple endings. There's a Chapter 8 ending that I could have gotten where I read a little bit about it. Simon is in the hospital or whatever in his wheelchair, and you go in and, I don't know, you're like evil Simon or something, and you kill him. You kill yourself. It's kind of to symbolize the suicide aspect of it, and, you know, the game had heavy themes of depression, about mental illness and depression and suicide, and a lot of that was important, I think. Okay, buddy, you're kind of in the doorway. Implied in what happens with Sophie. So here's what I think. From what I could gather, and this might be wrong, I'm sure people have already done all this analysis, and it's maybe a little more obvious to most people what happens in Cry of Fear. But from what I gathered, Simon was in a car accident. That thing that happens at the beginning of the game where he gets hit by the car that comes out of nowhere, that was real. That really happened. That's what happened to him. And before that, even before that happened, he had mental illness, depression. You know, he had a lot of depression issues and wasn't in a good place when he was going to school and stuff. But he did have, I think he was dating Sophie. I mean, I think she was his girlfriend. I don't know. I couldn't tell for sure. He had a good relationship with Sophie. He might have just been the only boy that was nice to her or whatever, but she came to the hospital to see him. So he was in a wheelchair after the car accident, and that didn't help his depression. And in doing so, he had tried to commit suicide. And I guess whatever ending you get, because there's different endings, the two things that determine the ending you get, I guess, have to do with the fight with Carcass right after Sophie jumps off the roof, whether you stay and kind of fight the monster to prove that you, I don't know, I tried to think of what it really symbolized. Like, fighting the monster is like the monster of that loss and grief over Sophie, having something to blame for losing Sophie, I guess, or losing his connection with Sophie. Frustration he felt in that after the accident or something. I don't know for sure, but or you can run away. And then the other thing that can obviously happen is if you trust the doctor to give him the gun or not in this part here at the gate. I just conveniently happened to walk that since I trusted the doctor and fought Carcass, I think I got pretty much the best ending where Simon talks about his book and how he's in therapy with Dr. Purnell and he writes this book to help him cope. And I figured the game we were playing is the book. Like, it has to be, right? It has to be that's his story about this character who's trapped in the city and fights all these demons to, like, regain his sanity or whatever and figure out what's going on. I assume that's what it's supposed to be, the whole story of Cry of Fear. It's a little sad. The whole thing is still a little sad. I didn't quite understand all of that. Like, why he sees the doctor that way as, like, someone who is out to get him. And, like, the stuff with Sophie especially. Like I said, I wasn't sure if Sophie was supposed to have been his girlfriend or if she was just supposed to... Oh, I can go here. This area is open. You can go on this little balcony. Or if she was just a friend he knew from college or whatever. But she visited him in the hospital every day. So that was kind of really what I got out of it, which is an interesting story. And like I said, as I played through it, it felt like it took a lot of inspiration from Silent Hill 2. The idea of someone being sick in a hospital, unable to go on with their life, depression, loss, grief, those kinds of themes. So Simon's story is a little bit more selfish, I think, overall, from what I could tell. But he seemed like he was a good person who just got dealt a really bad hand and went through some stuff. As far as, like, the actual game goes, like I said, I liked it. There were some things in it that absolutely made me crazy. I did not like the first-person nature of it. I did not like having to do the platforming, like the part where the train is falling off the cliff. I didn't like that one part with the scaffolding a lot. That part in the train station where there's all the weirdness happening. That's very much like the other world parts in Silent Hill. That was bad, but I could see what they were going for there, and it was I could live with it. The forest parts and stuff were cool. I liked that. I liked this mental hospital stuff. I liked some of the beginning. I felt like you spent a little bit too much time wandering around the same streets in the city. And the inventory management system is kind of a bummer. I mean, I think about it now, like a lot of the Resident Evil games, you had limited inventory. You had like 8 to 10 slots usually. But they didn't really make you had an item box where you could deposit items, right? They didn't make you have to carry your guns and ammo and your health items and key items all in the same slots. In this game you have 6 slots, 5 if you count the fact for most of the game that you can't move your phone, and you just like you have to carry things like 2 fuses around, or later you have to get like the 2 like pieces of scissors, things like that, where you just don't have any inventory control, and having any kind of gun other than the basic Glock pistol kind of feels like a waste of time because you don't have really the space to carry it around. You have to keep dropping your guns. Like I said, I think one strategy for the game that I came up with during the game would be to take all your guns with you and to continuously just keep bringing them places with you, dropping them, pick up the key item, go back and get your gun. Just keep doing that. So I kind of did that with the shotgun for a while until I got tired of doing it. But you can really afford to carry only like 1 or 2 guns the whole game, and whether you want to use any of the different pistols, the shotgun, the sniper rifle, or the M16, which were the only guns I found. I don't know if there's more. I know there's like the revolver and the doctor's pistol and stuff that you can get. I have played around now with some of the bonus little episodes, custom campaigns people have made just for fun. I do like the general Cry of Fear aesthetic. It's a good horror game. Like I said, it just gives me a lot of Silent Hill vibes, which is nice. So overall, positive game. A game I really enjoyed playing, and if you want a nice, free, fun horror experience, check it out. It's on Steam, like I said, for free. And you can hang out with our boy Simon here, and who apparently, also, I found out that the voice actor for Simon is a pretty prolific voice actor, and he is a really good singer. He has some music albums on YouTube, so look up the name. He's Stig something. I don't remember his last name. It's on the game. If you watch my last episode, this will probably be coming out around the same time as. Hope this was at least entertaining. I didn't really know what else. I wanted to talk about it, but now it's been almost a week since I recorded it, so I think some of the stuff is a little faded in my memory. And I'm on to bigger and better things. But we'll see you soon with more exciting stuff. Take care.